a little fireside chat, tarot only. All right, let's get started here. First card, please. The Chariot, Cancerian energy. We have a new moon, the same as Fat Tuesday coming up. So that may be significant for somebody. What are you manifesting starting with the new moon? What have you been thinking about that you need to put into fruition? So that when Cancerian season comes along, you don't say, oh, I should have done that back in February during Aquarius season when I was thinking about it. You know what I mean? Like, write it down. Write it down. You know, some people, they wish their life away doing that. Oh, that'd be nice. Oh, that'd be nice. You know, well, get busy on something. Make it happen. Make it happen. The King of Cups, Pisces, Cancer again, and Scorpio. There could be a masculine energy here in their emotions about making something happen potentially with you, or if you are this masculine energy, you may have been saying, when is this going to happen? Knight of Swords. Yeah, you may, or somebody may be wanting to come to you quickly to communicate. Maybe they feel like they missed out over Valentine's or whatever. But I would just say beware of hasty communication, because that's kind of what the Knight of Swords is about a little bit, and I am getting that message right now. So, you know, buyer beware. Yeah, World card. Yeah, you may have closed that chapter already. Okay. The same if you're this King of Cups and someone's like, oh, well, I can explain this and I can explain that, and they want to pull at your heartstrings and your emotions, you can be like, you know, I already felt what I needed to feel about that, and now I've switched gears, right? Is kind of sometimes what you need to tell them. So again, you might be communicating something that somebody doesn't want to hear, right? And they could be not taking it well. Okay, that's kind of what I'm getting with this Knight of Swords. Yeah, Four of Swords, and once you communicate this, you're going to be like, okay, you know, you're going to be hitting the hay even better than the day you were born. You know what I mean? This is what I'm getting. So if you've been wondering if you're choosing the right path, especially if it comes to, you know, not letting somebody pull on your heartstrings anymore, be rest assured that that is actually the right thing to do, and that you are not going to regret it, because I think this is what the question is, because that's why the Four of Swords came out, because the Four of Swords is about letting yourself rest and letting yourself relax once you've made that decision, once you've written that chapter in that book here with the World card. That is wild, dude. Oh my God. Look at that on the bottom of the deck. El Diablo. Yeah, somebody not wanting you to... They don't want you to face the facts that they already know. I guess is what I want to say. Overall energy here on the bottom of the deck. So, yeah, and what you already know, look at that. And right under that, High Priestess. So... And that's the thing, too. It's like, you could be looking at this person and being like, what? Like, why are you even trying? Like, you know, like, this isn't going to work. Or you know this is a bad idea. Like, why are you doing this? You know, and it's just one of those things where you just have to shake your head and say, well, you know what? I know I'm going to rest my head pretty easy tonight knowing I didn't make a whole bunch of dumbass decisions, right? That weren't good for me. You know? That's all she wrote. You ever hear that? That's all she wrote. Okay? That's what I'm getting at here. So, you do what you gotta do. Okay. Let's get a few more cards here. Okay, so that's the overlying situation. Okay, so let's go to the next level here. Let's see if we can get anything else for the collective. Wow, the Four of Wands. Yeah, you are moving forward and focusing on what you do want, not what you don't want. And when you use this time, this Four of Swords time to rest, it's going to be easier for you to manifest that. It's going to be easier for you to think about what you want. It's going to be easier for you to breathe and to dream and to use your imagination and all these things that this person didn't want you doing because they wanted you just focused on them. It was all about them. And if you didn't magically predict that they wanted some kind of fancy lasagna for dinner, oh my God, you're just the devil. Right? Where's my starch on my plate? Like, are you serious? Are you serious? And you're living here rent free? Oh my God. Like, do these people even know what comes out of their mouths? Because... yeah, right? And collective, you ran far away from that and you're like, I'm going towards this. You're like, I'm going towards the good stuff, man. I don't have time for that. Yeah, Five of Swords. So beware of whoever this person is or this energy trying to come in and try and plot some way to get into your Four of Wands that you might have already had this and they came along and destroyed it and you have rebuilt it now and they're still sitting here plotting but yeah, that fortress is not going to be broken this time, is it? By this person. You know what I'm saying? So this is just kind of the warning. And this is where you might be like, really? Like, you're here again? You're what? Like, why? It's like, you're not too bright, are you? Is what you kind of want to tell this person. Because you're like, you haven't, you can't come back here. In some cases, like, legally, there might be stuff on the books where... if they come back to a certain place, like, they could get prosecuted, like, heavily. I mean, I'm sure there's some people out there that have active orders out. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, yeah, that's where the confusion is, right? And obviously you're like, look, I decided long ago I'm not going to let in that confusing energy because that got me nothing but headaches and took away from my rest, whereas now I get to have my rest and I get to think about all the cool things that I want to do now versus what they wanted to do, right? Okay, Hermit, but it wanted to come out in reverse. So you might be coming out of Hermit energy, Virgo also, okay? And this person could be like, oh, you're ignoring me. Or, oh, why don't you come collaborate or commiserate with me? But it's more like commiserate, right? It's not, they're not a teammate. They're a weight around your neck, the anchor, that's going to take you to the bottom of the ocean. And it's like, dude, I'm still alive over here. Didn't you notice that? Yeah, Queen of Swords. Talk about no BS. She's like, yeah, we won't be doing that again. Anyway, back to my beauty rest. Yeah, Lover's card. You might have somebody already on the way, or you're at least recognizing that the love that this person pretended to give you was just that, a false image. Okay. And you're like, no, that's not, you're telling them, like, no, I want the real deal. Like, the contract I made with the universe was for the good stuff, not for this phony baloney stuff. So don't be coming around here. Don't be coming around here trying to work your wiles or whatever the heck you think it. Look, oh my God, yeah, magician. That's what I'm saying. And this could even be one of those weird things where, like, you work somewhere and then all of a sudden this person shows up. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I didn't know you worked. No, they do because they've been stalking you. They know exactly where you're, you know what I mean? And some of them, they're not supposed to be doing that. Right? Some of them, that's breaking the rules by them even knowing where you're at. Yeah, you're the star here. Aquarius, we're in Aquarius season. You're expressing your individuality, your uniqueness. You're not falling for the tricks of the devil. Right? Can't talk your way out of it this time, right? Oh, I miss you so much. It's not been the same without you, right? All those kind of things, right? Ooh, yeah, Three of Swords. You're gonna either lay it out on this person or you're gonna be like, look, that kind of heartbreak activity is not for me. Like, I'd rather be alone. I'd rather be, doing anything than that. Again, that's not the contract that you made with the universe, with the divine when you signed up. For those resonating with this message. My apologies to anyone in the chat today. I cannot see the comments right now from the position, how it's recording, but please do be kind to others in the chat and don't get yourself kicked out because there are automatic settings on there as well. Okay. Five of Wands. Okay, so it's like it wasn't enough for the Five of Swords. Like the Five of Swords didn't work. Okay, so let's try the Five of Wands technique, right? The lies didn't work, so now we're just gonna try and bump into them here. We're gonna try and hang out with their friends, and then we're gonna try and, you know what I'm saying? And again, you're like, why? Like, on what planet? Again, some of you might have, like, active, like, protective orders against this person. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, what part didn't you understand? Like, I don't... it's like, I don't want to have to call the law, but I will if it gets to that point. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's part of the thing is they think they can charm you out of not. And I hate to say that. Yeah, oh, wow. Look at that. 10 of Swords. Yeah, see, that's what they want to do. They just want to come around like a freaking vulture looking for any scraps that they must have missed the last time around. Okay? Before they raked you over the coals in all sorts of ways. We don't need to get into all the ways. If you want to get into all the ways, there's 100 other tarot readings going on at this very moment, talking about all the ways. We're moving on. We're still going after our Four of Wands. The vision we had before this person came along. And we thought, oh, because they're saying the right things and they're looking the right way. And you know what I mean? They're passing the smell test for a little while. And then, then it's like one stinker after another. And then it's like the times in between get shorter and shorter, right? Of the happiness, and increases the frequency of the displeasure, right? And then we start to see the real person. Okay, yeah, 10 of Wands. You're like, and that was enough for me. That's all she wrote. Right? And you said, that's it. I've had enough. Oh my God, here it is again. El Diablo. This person doesn't want to give up. Look, 10 of Cups. They want to come and interrupt your peace. Your 10 of Cups that you have on your way that is coming to you. I'm just saying, for some of you, you might feel like, oh, I'm being tested, blah, blah. And in a way, yes. But think of it as an easy test where you know the answer. So if you do run into this person, or there's some kind of thing where they try and force a confrontation, force an altercation, force a meeting, force some alleged spontaneous thing, just know that, yeah, the collective already knows who that person is. The collective already knows how that person moves. The collective already knows what that person is about and the means by which they will, right, enlist even, maybe some of your friends, maybe some of your family members. They'll start approaching them out of the blue. Oh, I'm concerned about so and so. I haven't seen them in the longest time. Oh, so and so, I know so and so. Oh, really? You do? My God, I haven't seen them in for, the last time I heard they weren't doing so well. Yeah, all this fake bullshit. It's like, yeah, I've watched Young and the Restless too. I watched Guiding Light too. Anyone else have a Sammy in their family, like on Days of Our Lives? I know my grandmother used to watch that show and she'd say, "Oh, that's Sammy." And when is that Sammy ever going to learn? Right? And I think they still got storyline. I haven't watched that show in years, but I think they still got storylines for her. But the point being is that some of these folks, guess what? They don't change. And you realized that. So what'd you do? The final straw here is, yeah. Well, 8 was enough, but we're at 10 now, so, and we don't go any higher than 10. So this is 10 of wands. Time to drop that off at the burn pile or whatever, right? I've been doing spring cleaning type stuff today. It's that kind of stuff where it's like, yeah, this can go, that can go. You know what I mean? What are we hanging on to this for? That's silly. Or this can go in for the, you know, whatever, to be donated, right? Like maybe I don't need it, but somebody else can use it, right? Stuff like that. Where again, this person wanted it all to be about them all the time, and you don't have that world view. Your view is something else, right? You're thinking about humanity. You're thinking about life. You're thinking about living well and how to achieve that. And for some of you, living in, according to your religious or spiritual beliefs as well, right? I don't like to really single anybody out, okay? Um, I think most of you know that watch regularly know how I was raised specifically in the church. So, okay. Anywho, yeah. If you're looking for this, I'm not really sure what's going on in the chat, but it looks like maybe somebody's looking for a personal reading. So if you need a personal reading, please do go check out. There's plenty of readers on YouTube that do personals. I don't think my link is active right now, or I haven't posted it recently. But I do events from time to time, kind of like at fairs, festivals, stuff like that. But I don't have anything specific planned. So those of you in the chat that was looking for, it looks like something more personal, you'll have to reach out elsewhere. And as always, my readings are here on YouTube and they are 100% free. I never ask you to donate. I do ask you, though, to be kind to others in the chat, like the video. Do consider subscribing, but really the only way you're paying is by either watching the ads, right, which if you don't have the premium or the however they phrase it on YouTube, subscription, then you're subject to ads, or just the basics, you're paying with your time, right? So make sure you are investing your time wisely, manifesting wisely, right? That's the name of the channel. So remember, you do not have to be a subscriber in order to like the video. So if you do want to continue receiving these messages, though, it would be in your best interest to subscribe or like the video to get into your YouTube feed, and then you can be potentially notified anytime of a new video drop or live, okay? So yeah. Um, Good luck out there with that. I mean, we have again, Cancer, the Magician, you got the Mercury retrograde action. There's a lot of different signage out here. Strong on the cups and air energy, right? And we had Aquarius as well. So, I feel like this is definitely one of those things where, somebody that wants to play on your emotions, they might try it, right? But it's one of those things where you start looking at them like, oh, you remind me of when so and so was a toddler, right? And they wanted that piece of whatever candy at the store. And, when mom said no, you know what I mean? It's kind of like that when all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, them making a big deal out of whatever this is not anything to do with me. It's all about them and their ego and their whatever. Um, so the sooner collective that you solidify into those plans that are, more godly in nature and not what these people either think you should be doing or ought to be doing because it serves their interest, of course, right? Remember, whenever somebody asks you to do something, whose interest is it serving? And sometimes that can even be in these churches and stuff too, because, for some of these people, it's a little feather in their cap if they bring in how many number of new recruits, to get assimilated, right? And stuff like that. Whereas somebody else might just be like, oh, I'm helping out a fellow church, or organization, right? And then somebody else takes it as, oh, they're with us now. And it's like, what? Like, I brought a dip. you know, like you don't have to give me a t-shirt on the first arrival. Anyway, um, that's all I have for y'all. Until next time, please do manifest wisely. Bye bye.